Raise your hand if you're still depressed about the ending of Good Omens. Me. Um, yeah, like a few days have passed, and I am still like feeling really heavy about where it ended up. Even though like I logically understand what they did and philosophically what it all meant. And in a way, I liked the ending, but also in a way I really didn't. It's very hard for me to like parse through my thoughts and feelings on this because typically I have a very strong opinion one way or the other on pieces of media, especially pieces of media I love. And this is one where I am just like, eh, I don't really know where to land on this one. And I've seen some videos from other creators where I'm like, yes, exactly. And some of them are contradictory. So I'm like, maybe this is just going to be something where I live in gray area forever, which is fine, I guess. By the way, from this point forward, spoilers for the Good Omens finale. One creator in particular, basically word for word, what they said is exactly what I think and feel. And that creator is Chully Wolves. I think I pronounced that right. I will link them. Go watch their video on it. It's like 11 minutes long. And if you want to know the nitty gritty of my thoughts and feelings on it, they speak on it perfectly, in my opinion. But I will also expand. So some context for me in Good Omens, because a lot of you who follow me know me through like Supernatural and Buffy fandoms. So Good Omens was my fandom before all of this. Before all of this, I was a huge fan of the book many years ago. I was a massive fan of seasons 1 and 2 of the show. I followed it as it came out. Like, as soon as I found out there was a TV adaptation of the book, I was locked in. I love Michael Sheen. I love David Tennant. I thought the casting was perfect. I was obsessed. Like, it was truly a hyperfixation. And the ending of season 2 left me feeling a little, and that was summer of 2023. And I could not stand the online fandom at the time. I left Twitter because of it, completely deleted my account, like it was that serious. That was also coming off the heels of the Ted Lasso finale. I was not in a good place fandom wise. And then Supernatural found me in the fall of that year, and it was a wrap for me, right? That replaced everything else in my life for a very long time. But in the back of my mind, I was very excited to see where this story would go. And then, of course, all the drama with Neil Gaiman came out, and I just fully emotionally detached myself from everything Good Omens related because I thought we weren't going to get a solution or like a resolution to the story. And I was so far from it. I was in Supernatural land. I was like, okay, whatever. It was then confirmed that we would get something, a movie nonetheless, but like something. And so I kind of put it to the back of my mind until we got an official, release date, and then I locked back in. So full transparency, I spent several years away from thinking about this fandom. I wasn't rewatching the show in any way. I wasn't consuming anything regarding Good Omens, even though it was a large part of like my fandom history and my love of storytelling. And then like a couple of days before the finale aired, I started rewatching the show with two of my close friends who wanted to see it because they'd never watched it before. So we watched like basically all of season 1 again, and I remembered why I loved it so much. And then I watched the series finale movie and was kind of just really taken aback by some of the things that happened. Now, I completely understand, like, things had to be condensed and cut for time, and there's just a lot. There was a lot of obstacles in the way of this being concluded in any way, shape, or form, and I get that. I just can't get over that we ended this story with, like, Crowley and Aziraphale basically blinking out of existence, and and the planet Earth that we have come to know in their story. It's just gone, and like there's a whole new like literal AU, and we're left with AU versions of them that are human and like don't have their memories and don't have their history. And while I understand it's like a in every universe trope, it's a like a soulmateism kind of thing, like I get it, but it just didn't land emotionally in the way I wanted it to land. Like logically I get it, emotionally it doesn't connect for me. And it was sweet seeing their little AU versions, fall in love and have their happy ending. But it was at the expense of the two characters that we all originally fell in love with. And I get that, like, their sacrifice meant something. Yeah, I get it. Again, it's all logical. It's not emotionally, it's not connecting for me. It is like reading a super distinctly AU fic where you're like, that's nice. Like, that's definitely not the characters I know and love from the canon, but it's sweet in its own regard. I'm not going to say it's not. But yeah, like, oof, big oof. I have a real hard time with like total annihilation, obliteration storylines in any TV media, book, movie, whatever. Like every time a piece of media or a story pulls that, like, and we're just gonna wipe the slate clean and start new, but then everything that came before is just like has been blinked out of existence basically. I have a real hard time with that. It touches on a bit of existentialism that makes me deeply uncomfortable, and I'm just going to admit that. Like, I can't see through the part of that that makes me deeply existentially uncomfortable to, like, enjoy the result, if that makes any sense. I'm also not going to purport to understand, like, that. I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, this is very much a Terry Pratchett ending. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm an avid reader of other Terry Pratchett works. I've never even read another Neil Gaiman book. I literally am only familiar with this book and this series. I don't know their other work. I don't know anything about these people. Like, I am not like a hardcore fan in that regard. And obviously, fuck Neil Gaiman. So I definitely won't now. And so I'm not going to be like understanding that this is like a Terry Pratchett ending because I don't understand. Haven't experienced any of that person's other art, if that makes any sense. So I am just experiencing this in a container. It's just this story, and I just personally don't very much like it. I'm sorry, I'm trying. I am trying. And I'm not one of those crazy people that's like blaming the cast, the crew, the director, all of that. Of course not. It's not their fault. They did the best they could with what they had. It's a miracle that we even got anything. They could have just let us rot. Like, they really could have, because they had every reason to pull the plug entirely. And the fact that they came together to make something, anything, is quite beautiful, in my opinion. But it did, in fact, take the wind out of my sails. Like, I have really, other than seeing through this rewatch with my friends so that they can experience it, I've warned them, by the way. I've completely warned them to tread carefully. And if they don't want to continue past season 1, then they shouldn't. They're choosing to move forward. I'm like, okay, I can't foresee how you're going to feel about the finale, so don't blame it on me. But beyond that, it's taken all of my desire to, like, live in this story anymore. You know what I mean? Like, I have no desire to, like, rewatch this show ever again after this. I have no desire to, like, seek out fan works for this story. I'm just, like, kind of done, which makes me really sad because it was a huge part of my love of storytelling for a long time. So rip Crowley and Aziraphale. So sorry they did that to you. It is kind of crazy to me. I am going to bring up Supernatural for a second here. It is kind of crazy to me that, like, Aziraphale and Crowley have been blinked out of existence. And somehow, like, even with the fuck-ass Supernatural finale and all the fuck-ass choices they made there, like, somehow some of those characters got a happier ending in Supernatural. And that's, like, one of the worst finales ever. Like, what are you talking about? At least they all got to be together in heaven at the end of it all. What are you talking about? Like, they didn't get blinked out of existence. They could have, because that was kind of similar storylines they were playing with in the canon, but they ended up not. They won. They defeated Chuck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I obviously, Cass, this is a major spoilers for the end of Supernatural if you couldn't tell, but, like, Cass gets sent to the empty, yes, but it's insinuated verbally in the finale via Bobby that he eventually gets out because he helps rebuild heaven. Like, that's a happier ending than Good Omens. Good Omens, which was supposed to be the queer definitive, like, happy ending media. Where am I right now in 2026? You know what I'm saying? That's what's really getting me. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments.